Most have heard the phrase derived from this verse, I am that I am. But few stop and take the time to look at the next verse to hear what the Creator continues to say as He actually reveals His name. He says in the next verse, Thus you are to say to the children of Yisrael, Yahuwah, the Aluah, also known Mighty One, of your fathers, the Aluah of Abraham, the Aluah of Yitzhak, Isaac, and the Aluah of Jacob, Jacob, has sent me to you. This Yahuwah is my name forever, and this is my remembrance to all generations. Shema, also known as Exodus 3 verse 15. There we have it, in the Creator's plain words, that His name is Yahuwah, and that is His name forever, and that His name is to be remembered to all generations. If you are watching or hearing this, then you are part of all generations. His name, the name Yahuwah, always has been, is now, and will always be Yahuwah. How is it then that the translators then had the audacity to change His name by adopting a device? A device is an easy way of saying they changed and covered His name. How do you think Yahuwah, the Creator, feels about this? Yahuwah says in Dabariym, also known as Deuteronomy 4 verse 2, Do not add to the word which I command you, and do not take away from it, so as to guard the commands of Yahuwah, your Aluah, which I am commanding you. In Mashliy, also known as Proverbs 30 verses 5 through 6, it says, Every word of Aluah is tried. He is a shield to those taking refuge in Him. Do not add to His words, lest He reprove you, and you be found a liar. Abram, also known as Hebrews 4 verse 12 says, For the word of the Most High is living and working, and sharper than any two-edged sword, cutting through even to the dividing of being and spirit, and of joints and marrow, and able to judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. The word of Yahuwah is now, more than ever, cutting through the deception of the translators that have plagued many for generations and kept them, and possibly you, from the true blessings and power of knowing and praising the name of Yahuwah the Most High. No wonder the Savior said in Matthew, also known as Matthew 23, 13 through 15, But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut up the rain of the heavens before men, for you do not go in, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you eat up widows' houses, and for a show make long prayers. Because of this, you shall receive greater judgment. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you go about the land and the sea to win one convert, and when he is won, you make him a son of Gehinnom, also known as hell, twofold more than yourselves. The scribes the Savior referred to then are no different than the translators, also known as scribes, of today. For example, the words Lord and God are descriptions at best and pagan at their worst. The word Lord at its best would derive from the Hebrew word Adunya, also known as Adonai, which simply means master. The word master, as we see here, is simply a title and description of someone's position. At its worst, the word Lord would derive from the word Baal, which is the pagan deity described throughout the Scriptures. This translation Lord, equaling Baal, is most likely what the modern translators were inspired by the evil one to use. The Encyclopedia Britannica describes Baal as the following: Baal, a god worshipped in many ancient Middle Eastern communities, especially among the Canaanites, who apparently considered him a fertility deity and one of the most important gods in the pantheon. As a Semitic common noun, Baal, Hebrew Baal, meant owner or lord. Even taking a chance of aligning the Creator's name with a pagan deity seems absolutely absurd. Now, let's look at the word God. The word God, at its best, would derive from the Hebrew word YAHUAH, which simply means the Mighty One. The plural of this would be Elohim, also known as Elohim, which simply means mighty ones. Again, these words are simply titles and are a description of someone's position. At its worst, the word God would be derived from Hebrew word Gad, or the European words Got, Guth, or Gut. The Encyclopedia Britannica, 11th edition, says this about the origins of the word God, the common Teutonic word for a personal object of religious worship, applied to all those superhuman beings of the heathen mythologies. The word God, on the conversion of the Teutonic races to Christianity, was adopted as the name of the one supreme being. Who was it that adopted the word God to replace the name of the Creator, YAHUAH? It's simple to see that it was the translators, scribes, that the Savior warned us about that did this. Again, remember what the Savior said, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, the